So yeah, today we're going to draw my eras as Zuzu Pets, but not as the toy versions because, let's just say I tried that and not only were the references hideous, but also they just did not turn out good. So instead, for today's Drawing My Eras as Nostalgic Media, we'll be drawing Zuzu Pets, but as the promotional artwork from the 2000s. I always adored this old art style, and I used to have stickers and posters of Zuzu Pets all over my walls, so I'm very eager to hop into this one. If you missed the last video, check it out! I drew all of my eras as Fakemon. We basically made up Pokemon for each one. Without further ado, let's dive right into this very adorable art style. So the thing about Zuzu Pets is that the promotional artwork they have was primarily for the hamsters. And for Wild Child, I really wanted to do the Zuzu babies. They were these amazingly textured little velvet baby hamsters that had a little marble on the bottom so they could roll across the floor. And oh my god, they were our favorite things. My brother and I were obsessed with these Zuzu babies. We had all of them, even the special edition one, Baxter. He's my prized possession, I tell you. I still have them all to this day. But there wasn't any promotional art of these Zuzu babies, not like they did for the hamsters. So I just kind of had to wing it. I just went off and did my own thing here and drew what I think the promotional art would have looked like if any had existed for the little Zuzu babies. Because Wild Child's a baby, so I wanted her to have a cute little Zuzu baby to represent her. So this thing was going to be absolutely adorable just from the eyes alone. The little eyes on these little things have me in a chokehold. They're so cute. But I really had to get down kind of the art style of Zuzu Pets. It's very simplistic and like 2000s-esque, where like all of the fur are very round and very close together. At first I thought maybe making her super duper fluffy, like one of the very, very fuzzy hamsters, but that just wouldn't work for one of the little Zuzu babies. So I did include just a little bit of fluff, because Wild Child is Wild Child without the wild hair. And for each of the Zuzu Pets you'll see today, they have these little birthmarks, these little symbols. Each of them have a unique one. It's kind of embroidered on the backs of the toys. And yes, even the Zuzu babies have these. It's really adorable. And for Wild Child's, I wanted to design it to be kind of like a flower, except the center is like her little frog cheek, and the petals are the tadpole tails. I thought that'd be really cool. So it's like a little flower, so it's something from nature, but also little tiny parts of her. This video is going to be pretty short considering how quickly I can draw these because of how simple they are. There's minimal shading, there's minimal details, there's literally only one little highlight on the nose. Like, it's so simplistic. But that's kind of what I loved about it as a kid. They were such a hit in the 2000s. It was like crazy trying to find them in the stores for a while, I remember. We were avid collectors as kids. We had Pokemon toy collections, card collections, Zuzu Pets, Neopets, Webkinz, you name it, we had it. And I just have so many fond memories of making little schools for my little Zuzu babies to go to. For her colors, I went with the lighter color, and then I wanted to do some darker patches here and there. Most of the Zuzu babies are very simplistic, and honestly, their colors are kind of inverted, where they have the darker color as the main pattern, and then the feet are usually a lighter color. But I just wanted to be a little different for Wild Child, because I also wanted to include just a little bit of detail in the freckles, and I wanted a little bit of orange in the ear. I made the little diaper the blue of her overalls to make it kind of like her overalls. I almost freaking forgot to draw the tail. Oh my god. That would have been a little embarrassing, but it didn't, so. Also, I noticed last second that the line art seems to be colored too, so I had to go back and recolor the line art, which is kind of like my least favorite thing to do in this series. It's so tedious and very difficult for me to see with my low vision. Overall, I think I nailed this. Here is Wild Child as a little baby Zuzu pet. Isn't she so precious, y'all? She's leaping into the sky with joy, chasing a butterfly or something. It's just so freaking pure and cute. You can see her little birthmark. Oh my god, it's literally so perfect. Despite not having a single reference, this literally looks like it could have been a pose on one of the packaging. I'm so proud of this. From Blackbird on, we're going to be drawing all of the eras as hamsters, so no more Zuzu babies. That was just a Wild Child exclusive thing. But now there's actually some really great references. They had these really cute little like bio information trading cards for the Zuzu Pets, which was so cute, and that's where I'm getting this promotional art kind of inspired from. They had stickers and coloring books and posters and all kinds of stuff with this art style on it, and this is the art style I'm trying to mimic. So luckily, drawing mouse-like creatures is kind of my thing. which is so great because this is gonna end up being really, really accurate because of that. So for Blackbird, I really wanted to nail getting the superhero look down, so I wanted to go for like a cute little pose of her having her little arm in the air with her cape flowing in the wind. I wanted to include the mask, and for a brief moment I really did consider adding the braid, but like honestly it's a little weird and uncanny for them to have like a lot of hair. It just looks really, really, really weird, trust me. I mean, look at the first version I did when I tried to make her look like a toy. Okay, look at it. It's awful. So let's just move past that idea and just keep it really, really simple, because that's what the art style is all about. I also thought I was gonna be like totally normal and boring and make her all black and white with like some blue features and everything, but like no, this is freaking Zuzu Pets. If you know anything about them, they love their eye-bleeding neon color tie-dye random BS more than anybody. So I was like, no, she's gonna be completely navy blue. I don't even care. Like, she would love that. That's exactly what she would want. So we went for it. As you know from Persona Project, Blackbird is the Zuzu Pet connoisseur. Blackbird is the one who made up the whole Zuzu Pet town with the lore about Mr. Squiggles being an evil mayor who turned an Orby factory into, kind of war crimes, not gonna lie. I had some crazy toy lore as a child. Like, all of my little stories with action figures and stuff was so extravagant for no damn reason. But hey, it made me into the storyteller I am today, so I can't complain too much. But I think Zuzu Pets really peaked in her era, honestly, in like the early 2010s. And I think I used to make like a little Zuzu Pets series and everything, like with my camera and like edited on Windows Movie Maker and stuff. Like, I made series for my Webkinz. I had like a secret spy show with my Webkinz. I had like this whole day in a life Zuzu Pet thing. It was like kind of a drama, honestly. There was like a school and like, you know, it was like very classic like LPS popular level like drama in my stuff, which is crazy. Speaking of Littlest Pet Shops, yes, I had like a whole thing going on with Littlest Pet Shops too. It's like this whole city. And of course my Pokemon, but my Pokemon, honestly, I didn't really record many videos. I would just draw very extensive like comics and chapter books and like write a bunch of stuff for them. That was more Wild Child's era. Blackbird was all over this filmmaking thing. Oh, once I started adding the colors to the line art, it just really started to come together. It just really truly looks like the art style. I really struggled with the shading and lighting a little bit because I couldn't figure out what color they were using. It just literally wasn't making any sense to me. I literally think they shaded every single part with a different color, and it's confusing and boggling my brain too badly. So I just picked a color that I think would suit the overall piece the best. So for Blackbirds it'll be blue, and Wild Child's it was green, and so on. Just to make my life a little easier, because Zuzu Pets, I don't know what the hell you got going on in your art department, but they took something that was supposed to be simple and way overcomplicated that. But look at Blackbird! I'm so proud, dude. She's so freaking adorable. This was the moment that I knew that this was gonna turn out so good. Every single one of them was gonna look exactly like the promotional art. My inner children are like screaming, jumping up and down, holding hands in a circle. Like, they are so excited about this, and this is so freaking perfect. I literally can't believe how well I managed to mimic the art style and the shading and everything. Despite it being so simple, I was a little intimidated by the simplicity, but honestly, I think it really works with just how I draw in general. So let's move on to the next hamster. Parker! Oh yes, it's Parker's turn to be turned into a little Zuzu Pet, and I had so many references in mind. One of the main references in mind that I had was one of the Zuzu Warriors. They came out with like this quote boy Zuzu Pets, you know, like a violent version of like the dainty little quote girly Zuzu Pets. You know how the 2000s were with their gender norms being shoved down our throats. But that obviously didn't work on me, because I still had the little Zuzu Pet arena and would fight my Zuzu Pets to the death every day. And I had the little warriors too, and they were awesome. Some of them were like ninjas and stuff. Like, they had really cool lore, honestly. And so my main inspo was definitely going to be this kind of inverted colors little guy, because that was really cool that all the Zuzu Pets didn't have like lighter colors on like the feet and paws and face, and then the darker color would be their fur. But no, with Parker I was like, let's invert it. I think it'd be so cute. And I almost wanted to keep like the cute little fire marking over the eye and everything, but honestly when I looked at Parker, I'm like, he's not a fighter like that. Like, he would not go into a Zuzu war, so he's not gonna have the little battle scar thing going on. But instead he's just gonna have his little glasses, his little scar scarf and a little book that resembles the Rebels, which was the book that he was writing during that era. I used Tex as my reference because Tex was literally one of my absolute favorite Zuzu Pets for no freaking reason, and I lost him, and I'm so sad about that to this day. He was just like a little southern guy. Like, I loved him. He was just from the south, and he was a big old sweetheart. I love how I remember the Zuzu Pets personalities and everything. Like, it's so burned into my skull, bro. I literally remember I got in trouble with my dad because I drew Tex on my walls because I was so in love with him. Drew him on the walls with a Sharpie, and my dad was like, dude, what are you doing? That's why I chose him as the reference, because I didn't think it would fit any of the other eras design-wise, so that's why I chose it for Parker. But no, I thought adding a little bit more fluff on a Parker would make sense, and then I added a little bit of stubble on the cheek to indicate that he's a boy. I just really loved that. I think that was really cute. I really emphasized the little freckles for the whiskers to come out. Whiskers are so weird. I don't draw whiskers, bro. I have never drawn whiskers on cats or dogs or mice or anything in my art style ever, so this is like a really weird territory for me. I don't know if I like it. It's just not for me for whatever reason. Probably because I'm an animator, and my god, if you know what it's like to animate just a little line, it's like harder than animating an entire person, I swear to god. Keeping track of that many whiskers on one character while they're moving, oh hell no. I did add like the little bit of hair of a swirl on top. I think I got away with it. I think it still fits with the art style a little bit, but I think that's the most I could get away with. Not many of them have like hair like that. I don't know. There were some Zuzu Pets that had like some crazy hair. They were like a rock and roll one, but I think I'll save that for Haley's era hamster because I think that would really fit with like the hairstyle I had. And I tried to make each one unique, you know, by choosing different references and different types of things from the nostalgic media that we're referencing. But after I colored in the eyes, oh, they're so cute. I chose a slightly different eye style just to kind of soften up Parker's expression and just, oh, look how it turned out in the end. Look how freaking perfect and adorable and cute and precious Parker is. I'm so glad I went with inverting all of the colors. It's just literally so adorable, dude. For his little birthmark, I did a key, but it's also like on fire. It's also kind of like the Fire Nation symbol from Avatar, which was one of my favorite things. So like it just tied itself all up in a nice little bow, and I'm so happy with my little Parker hamster, dude. Even as a hamster, he's so actually. Next up is Holly era, and there were a series of Zuzu Pets that were cats and dogs. They were like mildly unsettling though, because they were like really freaking tall, dude. Like, I don't know what was up with all that. And the little button you pressed wasn't even on their nose. It was like a little collar. Uncanny knowing that it was just a base of a hamster with like essentially a costume on. It was just, I don't know. I never liked them very much. Nevertheless, I thought making Holly a cat would make sense because she's a cat. But as I started drawing it more and more, I was like, this isn't a cat because I chose the hamster nose, but I was already in love with how it looks. So I was like, you know what? Forget it. We'll just do like a chipmunk or like a chinchilla. Like we'll do like a cat, mouse, hamster, chinchilla thing, crossbreed. I don't know. We'll just blend a bunch of things together and make her really fluffy. And that ended up working out somehow. I don't know how, but it did. Hooray for that. It was just vibes, man. I don't know. I knew that a lot of the patterning was gonna make this one unique, so the line art was pretty simplistic aside from all like the different fluffs and everything. I gave her the little Holly, but I had to round out the edges because this art style has like absolutely zero sharp edges. It's like so round. That was really, really weird for me. I was like, it looks like a salad. I don't I don't like this. But you know what? It's for you, Zuzu Pets. It's for you. So I chose this really cute little pose of her holding a paintbrush and doing a stroke of paint kind of thing, and like balancing on one little foot. Like, I just love how passionate I was in that era and how artistic I was. So I thought that'd be like a really cute thing, because all of the promotional art for the hamsters typically has them exemplifying a hobby that they're good at or something like that. And I thought that was like really cute. But no, literally when I started going in with the pattern, it just, oh my god, it just came together so cutely. She looked more and more like a chipmunk. The more I added the colors, I was like, oh my god, I am making a chipmunk. I mean, okay, like, for the record, there was a chipmunk Zuzu Pet. I mean, there was a lot of Zuzu Pets they shouldn't have made. Like the frog from the beginning of the video. Like, what the hell was that? That was the most horrifying thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm literally gonna think about that all the time now. Every time I look at my Zuzu Pets, I'm like, god, Why do you exist, Zuzu Frog? Why? I was just trying to look up a reference for Wild Child. Why? Why? Like with every Holly era thing I draw, coloring the freaking line art is a nightmare because of all the patterning. Oh my good lord have mercy. It was so awful, y'all. I was just like losing my marbles. And I almost didn't want to add the pink cheeks just because I thought it was just gonna be way too much. Like I was like, okay, it's already like pretty complex for a Zuzu pet. Like they usually don't have more than like 4 colors, I swear to god. But it just didn't look like Holly. It just kind of looked like a chipmunk with a holly on top, or a salad, questionably a salad. But like, okay, so I just added the cheeks because I just couldn't take it. I was like, you know what, forget it. And then as a fun tiny detail, I made the color of paint that she's painting with color of Holly's sweater from her original design, which is like such a random detail, but I was like, no, it ties it all together, you know, because pink was her favorite. And this is how my very random crossbreed of chipmunk, cat, and hamster turned out for Holly. And for the birthmark, I went with a holly, of course, but I added like a little bit of swirls because a lot of the birthmarks for Zuzu Pets have these fun little swirls and stuff. I just think it turned out really cute. It's definitely my favorite pose of the batch. I think it turned out really adorable. All the colors, of course, always work so well with Holly. She's always rocking it with the pinks, browns, reds, and greens. For the first time ever, I think, in this series, I think the Haley Zuzu pet is my favorite. Like, I don't understand what changed in my brain chemistry when I was drawing this one compared to the other ones, but I don't know. This one turned out really good in my opinion. The pose was really cute. It just got a lot of like personality in it. And I got to include the stupid rock and roll, really fluffy hair that some of the Zuzu pets had. Oh my god. What was up with like the 2000s and their theming for toys? Because like sometimes they would be normal. They would be like Squinkies is a really good example, right? They'd be like, all right, so we have like an aquatic set and you get like a dolphin and a goldfish and a starfish and be like, okay, this makes sense, yeah. Or like a safari to get an elephant or a giraffe. It's like, okay, yeah, this is making total sense. But then they would like go off the damn deep end and it would be like, so what is this exactly? And it's like, oh, cats and babies. What? Cats and babies? What are we doing? Like, why is that like a package? Like, what's the correlation? Like, human children and cats. Like, it came with like cat trees and like yarn balls and everything. I just don't know why there were human children in there. Like, it should have just been cats. Like, I don't know. We'll put a pin in Squinkies because I'd love to draw those. But no, I think Zuzu Pets had some pretty outlandish little series too. Like, the rock and roll one was definitely a choice to say the least, with like the super long hair. And then they also just had like the warriors and things, so they were like, yeah, battle your Zuzu Pets as if they were Beyblades, bro. Like, why are we Beyblading my Zuzu Pets for real? Like, what are we doing? Anyways, back to Haley Zuzu Pet. I gave her a watering can because I took up gardening during that era and it became like a really stable and awesome hobby for me. And I kept the little hat with the lemon, of course. I had like this bucket hat with a lemon that was like my signature item during that era. Towards the end, I was kind of like, something is missing off of this design. It was just a little too plain for me. Like, as far as the line art goes, it was just really simplistic, very minimal fur. I was like, there's like not much going on with this character, right? So I decided to add a dinosaur tail, but I wanted it to be a little more patchwork, almost like it's the same fabric as the bucket hat, and it's just like an accessory that she wears. Cause like I already got away with like the crimes of crossbreeding Holly into like 400 different animals with the Zuzu Pet challenge. So no, I'm not going to be drawing Haley as a dinosaur hamster. But the little tail accessory is really cute. Kind of reminds me of Animal Jam. Like, it's just really cute. And for the pattern, I think I really heavily referenced the rock and roll hamster because it has the darker pattern on the head and then it's white on the rest of the body. So I did Haley's primary hair color and then did a little bit of the lighter orange and whites. And like, honestly, white is not a part of her color palette, but it works really well. Like, I'm kind of shocked. I've never used that before for Haley. It's really, really good. And I just freaking love the pose I chose. Oh my god, it's literally so cute with her little like soft eyes and everything. It's just so freaking adorable. It literally reminds me more of a guinea pig, honestly, with like the way that the patterning is going. Maybe that's what the rock and roll ones were all about. Maybe they were actually guinea pigs or something. I don't know. I'm not like totally caught up on my Zuzu Pets lore. I mean, they only had DS games and Wii games, movies, TV shows, and all this stuff past like the point that I was obsessed with them. So like, I'm behind on my lore. I don't know. Maybe they have a whole zoo of Zuzu Pets for all I know. Who knows? Nevertheless, once I got my line art colored, it all came together and Haley as a Zuzu Pet is so precious. precious. Oh my god, they're all precious, but I think this one has to be my favorite because it's just so cute. I almost wanted to add some freckles on there, like even more spots of things, but just not the Zuzu way. It's just meant to be very simple, and I already got away with a couple accessories, so I didn't want to push it. For the birthmark, I did a lemon, but I also wanted to kind of look like a dinosaur footprint at the same time. I thought that'd be really cute. For the last era of this nostalgic video on Zuzu Pets, we've got Robin. And while drawing a pose for Robin, I had the biggest brain blast of my career when I realized Zuzu Pets is sleeping on an opportunity here. Imagine, close your eyes, dream with me a little, a Zuzu Pets wheelchair, but they're made out of hamster wheels. The wheelchair is made out of hamster wheels. Oh my god, my brain grew 3 times larger that day. I was so excited, oh my god. And it's so perfect too, because right now I'm an ambulatory wheelchair user, and I thought it was so cool that I finally get to include it in one of Robin's designs for these nostalgic videos. I was waiting on the chance to do it, and I think this is the perfect time because of how simplistic it is, and I get to use the freaking hamster wheels. Like, I'm obsessed, dude. I knew they were gonna be the most neon green, like, you know how unfortunately a lot of hamster things are like very brightly colored because they're targeted at children, which is just like a whole thing that I wish was totally not legal, and I think is actually in the works of becoming illegal, which is great because we should not market pets to children. No pet is an easy pet to own. This is coming from someone who managed a pet store for many years and made children go home and write essays on why they should be able to adopt a pet and the responsibilities that come with it. Yes, I was a bit of an evil store owner. I would like make children go home and do their homework before they got an animal, but like, hey, I was making sure that animal is going into the right hands, you know what I mean? So, but for Robin, I kind of abandoned everything that I was saying about, oh no, we can't do all these freckles, we can't do all these. No, I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna follow my heart and I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want for my little Zuzu pet of this era. Let's freaking go. So I got a little bit of fluff on top and I was like, that's it, because I didn't want to go too crazy on that because I knew it was gonna have a lot of patterning, because I wanted to go more in on the Robin patterning. I knew I wanted there to be like a lot of bright colors too. The wheelchair was obviously gonna be like neon, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more white and everything. I was like, you know what, this is kind of gonna be lacking a lot of orange if I don't have like a little accessory. So I did a bandana because it's my favorite accessory to draw, and I just thought it would fit really cute to add in a little bit of that orange to contrast the greens that are eventually going to be in it. And also it was just missing a lot of color otherwise. But yeah, drawing wheelchairs is extremely complex and I'm not very good at it, even though I have like a really good reference. It's just like such a 3D object that I tend to struggle with it. So I'm sorry, I tend to struggle with drawing this particular object, even though it helps me out in my day-to-day life very much. I'm like, you know, you are very complicated to draw, and also I'm trying to convert you into a damn hamster wheel right now, so I'm sorry, wheelchair, you're a little wonky, but that's okay. We know what you are, I know what you are, and I love you. I love and appreciate you, my mobility aid. Coloring the line art was not as bad as I thought it was gonna be with all of that mess going on, honestly. I was like, okay, this is coming together, and by the end of it, this is how Robin would look as a Zuzu pet. Isn't this so freaking precious, dude? He's signed chilling out with my hamster wheelchair. Isn't this so freaking cute? I'm freaking obsessed. The birthmark is of course a little feather. I added a couple little spots on it too because of how freckled Robin is here. I just cooked with all of these designs. The art style was just literally perfect to match how I draw on a regular basis. It just all turned out beautiful. And those were my eras as Zuzu Pets. I hope you have enjoyed this video and continue to enjoy the series, because next time we're going to be drawing Tamagotchis. Oh yeah, I want to design the shell of Tamagotchis for each era, as well as an actual little Tamagotchi little guy to go along with the shell. It's gonna be so much fun. Thank you so much for watching this one, and I hope to see you in the next. And I'm sorry I had to put the frog Zuzu Pet into your mind. We must suffer together now.